everyone. Welcome to MME Weekly, episode 16. I hope you're excited for this. We're jumping into Florida. We're going to be learning all about bringing back events safely, and I hope you're excited to hear from all of us. So today we're going to be talking about new catering trends, themes, and what the future looks like when it comes to Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, Discover Palm Beach, everything that you need to hear. We are going to talk about it today. Here's some news that we have for you. Over 1,000 people have been signed up for Connect that is going to be taking place in Orlando in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to be there. A couple of people from my team, maybe some of the individuals even on this panel will be there as well. And I bet you all are looking at my background, and it's not the normal background that you usually see. I am live from the road. I'm actually in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is new for me, but again, we wanted to update the industry, and we cannot stop. So again, thank you so much for joining us. And just a couple of travel trips. If you're going to jump on a plane, I recommend N95 masks, hand sanitizers, and then disinfectant wipes, because you have no idea how much you touch on planes when you're flying. So again, be safe, wear your mask. But that was my second experience jumping on a plane, and it was great. I want to go ahead and introduce our panel. We have Paul Couture he's the director of sales from the Walt Disney World Swan Dolphin. Ashley Mayo, who's the account director at Visit Orlando. Samantha Stubert, who's the complex sales manager at Hilton Lake Buena Vista. Neil Carter, who's the director of sales at Discover Palm Beaches. Agnes Zoransky, who's the senior regional sales executive at Fort Lauderdale Convention Bureau. All right. Now, I know you guys all want to hear from our panelists, so I'm going to jump right into it. Ashley, you're with Visit Orlando. You're arguably the #1 destination for meetings, events, my friend. Tell us about what's happening. Educate us. Why are events happening? Why are people finding success right now?
You know, there's a lot happening. It's an interesting question. You know, the fact that right now, everything has changed and nothing has changed. I say that because meeting planners are still picking us because we have a variety of hotels to choose from. We have affordable options when it comes to flying into Orlando, and we have all the things to do. You know, a #1 theme park destination in the United States. So when it comes to that, meeting planners are still drawn to us. But with what's going on in today's world, safety is our #1 priority. So we want to make sure when meeting planners are thinking about us that is our priority, that when they send their attendees, when they send their clients here, that, you know, they're comfortable in doing so. So with that being said, it's funny because I think right now the #1 question that I get from a lot of meeting planners is, you know, what does travel look like to Orlando? If I'm going to send my attendees, I need to understand what are they going to go through when they come to your destination. And I think our facilities, our airport and our convention center and our hotels have done an amazing job with just really stepping up to the plate with all of the safety enhancements and protocols and guidelines that they've done. So just to kind of point some things out with the airport, with our Orlando International Airport being as large as it is, we have 22,000 employees. A lot of employees. But all of the employees have face masks. They actually all do temperature checks before they come into work. So that's just adding to the enhancements. And then actually throughout the airport, just in case you forget your N95 mask or anything at home, we have PPE vending machines that are set up throughout the airport, which is nice. So you can, you know, get your hand sanitizers or whatever you might need. I was just actually talking to a colleague of mine who went through the airport, so had the whole experience. And she said she was able to keep her face mask on the entire way, actually through TSA as well. So I think that just adds to being comfortable while you're going through the airport and while you're traveling to our destination. The Orange County Convention Center, they just actually got their accreditation through GBAC. And you're like, what does that mean? It just means that it's, again, enhanced safety protocols, just more cleaning standards, and there's hand sanitizers throughout the convention center. Everybody's wearing a face mask. We just want to make sure when you step inside the convention center that you're comfortable, that when you send your attendees there that they're going to have an overall great experience, but they're also going to feel safe while they're having that experience. And then our hotels, on top of that, they have numerous safety guidelines for each of the brands, which I'm sure you're going to hear about a little bit later with the folks on our panel. So there's just so much that we're trying to do to just make sure that, on top of the whole experience of bringing your event here to Orlando, Florida, that safety is our number one priority.
And that's great. And another question for you. So the group gathering ban in Orlando, where is that currently at?
So we don't actually have, did you say band?
Correct.
Right. We don't really have a band as in a limit of how many we can host. What we do have is basically each facility right now is, from what I've heard, is about 50%. Is what they're hosting their events. But again, it's for each hotel. It just depends on where they're at. So we don't really have that restriction, which is great, because if you look at other cities, they do have those restrictions. And so we do see a lot of actual events that are moving from those cities that have those restrictions to Orlando, Florida, because we don't have that. And then we also have a proven record from some of the events that we've hosted, like the AU just in July. AU volleyball had over 9,000 attendees. Wow. And then, right? And then we had the Together Again Expo. It had 1,400 attendees. And with those events and numerous other events, there have been no COVID outbreaks traced back to any of those events. So it clearly shows that we can host events of numerous sizes, small, large, but safety is our number one priority when it comes to hosting those events.
And I have a question for you, and probably some of our audience as well. If you've never been to Orlando, or maybe stick to the West Coast, why Orlando?
I mean, there's a long list. But honestly, Orlando checks all the boxes, and planners are looking at where to go, and also right now where to feel safe to send their attendees. So there's just so much to do. Like I said, the variety of hotels. So there's something for everyone. So if you're looking to host a small meeting, if you're looking to host a larger meeting, if you want a resort style meeting space, if you want a convention style meeting space, I mean, there's really something for everyone. So I feel that when people are trying to select a destination and they're looking for something central for all of their attendees to be able to get to, something affordable, but also something fun, Orlando really checks all those boxes.
I know, I agree 100%. Now I want to jump over to Samantha, because Sam, we've had great success over the past couple of months. You and I recently contracted a group that actualized, but before we jump into that, I want to have the audience just hear about your hotel. What do you have going on? Because it just recently opened, correct?
That's correct, yes. So the Hilton Orlando Buena Vista Palace just opened. We are thrilled and so excited to be open and have guests back into the hotel. It's been a hard time for everyone in Orlando, and we are just ready to do what we do best, meetings. Number one in meeting satisfaction in the year of 2019 for all of the Americas, all across for Hilton. The scores came back 1,000 guest rooms and 110,000 square feet of meeting space at the hotel. Full renovation went down in 2019. So all of the guest rooms, all of the meeting space is fully renovated, and we're on Disney property. So it's a great location to host an event. And we are walking distance to Disney Springs. And I don't know if you know about Disney Springs. Disney Springs used to be called Downtown Disney, now Disney Springs, over 100 shopping venues, over 60 food and beverage outlets, so much to do in the area. And as Ashley was mentioning, a great place to host a meeting.
Wow. And tell us a little bit about the actual site visit that you recently had with my own client.
Yeah, so we actually had a site visit. It was actually her birthday this past weekend. So she got to stay with us during her birthday. We had a cake for her. The site visit in the morning went so well. I took her actually over to Disney Springs, and we had an amazing meal at one of my favorite restaurants, Chef Art Smith's restaurant, Homecoming. The food is outstanding. There's 6 Michelin star winning restaurants over at Disney Springs, and there's just so much to do. When it comes to the factors of reopening the hotel, we have implemented through Hilton Clean Stay and Hilton Event Ready. So in regards to that, Hilton Clean Stay builds upon the already high standard of cleanliness that we have here at Hilton, and it just elevates it in the guest rooms, restaurants, fitness center, public space, meeting space. We've partnered with Lysol Protection to implement this, and we have factors such as keyless check-in, so that you can check in to the hotel without even going up to the front desk. So limiting kind of that human contact, adapting to physical distancing. There's stickers on the floor. There's ample signage throughout the hotel. And I would love to show that video, Mike, if you can play that video of the reopening of the Palace, that'd be great.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Yeah. Thank you. So as you can see, we have the elevated cleanliness, the signage throughout the hotel. We've got the seals on the doors just to make sure that people feel comfortable when they are on property with us. It's all about comfortability, I feel like, and rebuilding into the new future of meetings. And I think we've got the set standards here to kind of elevate that and bring that to the attention of all of our guests and all of the attendees.
I'm just happy that the video worked, to be honest with you, my friend. I know your property is amazing. I love it. So does our clients. I'm glad that it's opening and everything is coming back to life. We're really seeing that in the industry. So I can't thank you enough for being on the show. And everyone that is watching right now, I bet wants to start booking your hotel. So I think that's tremendous as well. I want to jump now to Nikita because everyone is interested and probably has seen the reception video that you recently put out at the Hilton Bonnet Street, because my friends, that was a 400-person reception and they hit it out tremendously. And again, I can't thank you enough because that video has done so much for the industry. Nikita, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to play it, and then I'll kind of chat about it, so that way everyone kind of has a reference for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Sure. That's amazing, my friend.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for playing that and sharing with everyone. You know, Hilton has, you know, it's been him, Hilton and its brands have been the leaders in hospitality for 100 years now. So, and it's been the leader through creativity, innovation, and social responsibility. And whether it's the first hotel company to implement 24-hour room service, the first to extend 12 weeks of parental leave, or if it's leading during a pandemic with new standards for cleanliness and safety through Clean Stay, which Sam just touched on, or Hilton Event Ready. Our leaders of our organization got together with Lysol, with meeting planner focus groups, with culinary leaders, with operations leaders to come up with a set of protocols that could help us host our guests safely when they were ready to come back. And that's what they did. And here at Hilton Bonnet Creek and at Waldorf Astoria Orlando, we've been open since July 1st. So we've been leading the charge for our brand. And since July 1st, we've hosted many events, from weddings and social gatherings to small board meetings to larger conventions like what you just saw in the video. And there were times where our customers were wanting to cancel and on the verge of cancellation. And, you know, obviously we had some of that as well. But the ones that have come, they've had the confidence to come. They felt confident in our ability to deliver amazing service to them safely because of the Hilton Event Ready protocols that have been put in place. And Hilton they gave us those resources to be able to share with our customers to help them feel confident about coming. So I want to highlight a couple things that you saw in the video that really are part of that Event Ready protocol and guidance. So you saw in the video 400 people set for general session. And that was a healthcare group that we hosted last month. And we were set social distance. We had a rigorous sanitation and disinfection protocol in place. And what happens is after we go through and sanitize a room, and whether it's a meeting room, a meal function, or an event function, we go through and we put that little blue seal that you saw in the video. And what that does is it gives our meeting planners confidence that the room has been sanitized and no one else has been in that space since that final sanitation has taken place. Could you imagine walking into a room and knowing, hey, this room is as clean as it could be, because they have assured me that it has been sealed off and I'm the one breaking the seal. So that type of innovation and thought process of, hey, what will make a customer feel comfortable is what we do. And then once the planner goes in and sees that it is clean, we go with them, a member of our management team, and we do a checklist with them to make sure that they're comfortable with the cleanliness that we have provided before we even open it up to the attendees. So that's part of our Event Ready protocols, that seal, the checklist, and making sure the customer feels confident before the guests enter the room. The next thing you saw after they go to general session, you saw them going into their meal space. So again, the seal's on the door for the meal room. And you saw buffets, right? And the answer is yes, we can do buffets, but they are reimagined, and that's what Hilton wanted to do, reimagine how we can serve food safely. And so we put in protocols to be able to serve food, either covered. So our culinary team has worked with sourcing agents to get biodegradable covers for food so that we can display cold food or utilizing foods that can be sealed for guest safety. And then any hot food, we've sourced tons and tons of plexiglass shields to be able to protect our team members and our guests serving hot food. So what that does is it provides food to be able to be served safely and at the right temperatures for the hot food. And then, so those are just kind of the main key things for the Event Ready protocols. We found that every client is a little different in their comfort level, right? So the Event Ready protocols are flexible. So we have a playbook that's customized for each group so that they can decide how comfortable they are. Maybe our protocols are too stringent. Maybe our protocols are stringent enough, and they want to provide something different. So our Event Ready playbook allows us to customize that so that our team knows this is where the group is and this is what they're comfortable with before the next, in the next group, it might be very different. So we have that flexibility. And then I wanted to just touch on a couple tips. I know Hugh had mentioned before you wanted me to share some tips for planners as they start to plan and think forward. And one of the things I wanted to suggest, that I do suggest to my customers that are hosting events a little bit larger in size, like 200 or more so, is why not give your guests a color assignment? So say it's 200 people, the first 100 get a blue sticker on their name badge, and the next 100 get the green. Well, what happens is in general session, when it's time to release to the buffet or to the lunch event, you release the blue group first, and then 7 to 10 minutes later, you release the green. And what that does is it allows social distancing at the buffet station. So it's thinking outside the box of how, okay, yes, I get them all seated in the room, nice and safe and social distance. But now when they're transitioning and when they're moving, how can we move them safely as well? And again, that's all tailored based on the comfort level of the customer. But that's a way for them to think outside the box of, hey, okay, once we move them from one place to the other, how can we move them safely? And then we assist with that, right?
Did we lose her? I think we lost her. Well, that's what happened. So, Neil, we'll go to you next and discover Palm Beaches, my friend. Tell us about what's all going on in Palm Beach and what you recently had a fan.
Yes, so we have a lot going on down here in Palm Beach. The number one thing, though, is our GBAC Star accreditation, the Global Biorisk Advisory Council Star accreditation. We are the first destination in which our headquarter hotel with the convention center and also our airport are also all accredited. So we've also, as a destination, Discover the Palm Beaches has sponsored the cost for all of our hotels to get this accreditation. And that means safety standards, disinfectant standards, and infectious disease protocol that they all put in place to ensure that all of their attendees and all of the travelers coming in are doing so safely. Our fam trip was a huge hit. We had 6 clients in, and rigorous preparation and planning regarding safety was in place. We started off with having the attendees meet outside the hotel. Everybody was temperature checked. Everybody was required to wear a mask 100% of the time. With that, they all selected armbands, red, green, or yellow, and it indicated their level of comfort with regarding interaction with one another, and that worked very well. And it removed the awkwardness. When we presented to them, everybody was 6 feet apart. When I presented to them, I was about 30 feet from them. But needless to say, we were all wearing masks. When we loaded the transportation, the buses for transportation, we did so back to front, and everybody had assigned seating, and it was all 6 feet apart, and we unloaded front to back. A very successful fam. When we sat down to 8, everybody had their own place settings and condiments, and they were wrapped individually and waiting for them. So well thought out, well executed. Hats off to my services team and everything that they did. We have a phenomenal services team, the best services team. So thank you to them. And things have been moving along quite well here. We're in phase 3, and meetings are starting to come back. So we're starting to see some of our clients book, and we welcome those clients back to a very safe and friendly and welcoming Palm Beach County. All 39 cities and 47 miles of this beautiful county welcome you back.
What was the statistic you told me a couple of days ago about Palm Beach? It's the second.
So it is the second largest county this side of the Mississippi.
That's incredible, my friend.
Absolutely, absolutely.
The other thing I think it's so interesting about the wristbands is when that initially came out, I would say the majority of the industry thought it was a phenomenal idea, and so did I. And you're the first person I've ever heard that actually utilized this method. And you're actually the first person I've ever known so far in the pandemic to host FAM. So this is, I mean, hats off to you. You are truly leading the way for the industry right now, my friend. I mean, what was the overall feedback? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, my apologies. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited. And to be quite honest, it's our team. Everybody from the leadership down, from Jorge Pesquera to Kelly Cavers, Mike Jackson, all of my leaders above me to our services team who were forward thinking enough to know, hey, we can do this and we can do it safely, but also made sure that we thought everything through. We made sure that we took the advice of planners in the industry and other leading industry professionals, and we made sure that we executed it properly, and it worked out very well. So our team here, they thought through it well. We executed it well. The clients enjoyed it. There were no issues regarding safety. And they all thanked us for a successful FAM in which they were able to come and learn about this incredible destination.
And I think the thing that stuck out to me the most when you were telling me about this is that you sold out your FAM within hours, right?
Correct. Yes. And it's funny, at first we sat down and we didn't think, just because of the state of the industry right now, we didn't think that many people we thought people would be reluctant to come and join us. And within 12 hours, we filled those 6 spots. And so, yeah, we're looking to do more in the future using the same safety model that we created with the first one. And that's what we're going to do moving forward. And
what recommendations or tips would you have for maybe other CVBs or DMOs out there that are thinking about putting on a future FAM or engaging clients to get their interest in their destination?
Over communicate everything, safety standards, overthink everything, walk through everything, and try to think about everything from everybody else's point of view. You're going to have people at all different sides of the spectrum. You're going to have people that don't believe they have to be as I guess you could say as safe as others, and you're going to have people that believe you must be completely safe. And that's the thing about it. Always err to the side of caution and incorporate every safety standard that you could possibly think of. And that's what we did to ensure that everybody arrived safely and left safely and healthy.
Well, it looks like Sonia, the VP of Sales at Miami, likes your advice, my friend. So she's great advice. Thanks, Neil. So
well, she's a mentor to me. I love her to death. So
hey, Sonia.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, Neil. Hey, congrats, man. You're truly leading the industry forward. And I want to jump now to Agnes, because Agnes, you represent Fort Lauderdale, my friend. You have a lot going on. You have some amazing hotels as well. Can you kind of give us the insight on what's going on in your neck of the woods?
Absolutely, Mike. Thank you so much for having me. Greater Fort Lauderdale is open. It's a common theme. We're really excited. We're opening our doors, as we do in the hospitality industry, to all the folks to keep us in mind. We're open for visitors, in-person client events. Currently, our indoor venues and restaurants are operating at 50% occupancy while maintaining social distancing. I wanted to mention, as Ashley had mentioned earlier, that safety is also our #1 priority. Our hotel partners and local businesses have taken the Visit Lauderdale Safe and Clean pledge. They show great pride in displaying their plaquettes right outside their establishments. What that program means is that they're committed to social distancing, hand washing, the promotion of facial masks, and always following the CDC cleaning protocols. Before I talk about our awesome first upcoming event that's coming up at the end of October, I'd like, Mike, for you to share our quick video, and I'll go right into talking a little bit about what we're planning on doing at the end of October. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mike. That was just a quick 30-second snippet of what we have to offer in Greater Fort Lauderdale. What I'm really, really excited to share with everybody is that we are hosting our 61st annual Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, which is happening October 28th through November 1st. So if you're ready to purchase that yacht, mark your calendars. It is a 5-day boat show. It's the largest in the world. This will be a really great test for how well we do with large multi-day events. You might be wondering, it's a lot of people, and how are we going to do it? Well, I have the answer for you. We have a really great, strong plan in place to keep people safe. A couple things that we are doing is that we are requiring face masks throughout the entire program, even though it is a completely outdoor event. So I want to make sure everybody was aware of that. Contactless ticketing will be available. They've also implemented hygiene hosts. Not sure if everyone's familiar what that means, but that is we are hiring specific individuals, kind of like the safety police. No one's getting a ticket, but walking around and really being proactive and talking about making sure to wear your mask properly and over your nose, making sure that people are social distancing, letting people know where hand sanitizing stations are, things of that nature. So just being proactive in person in between these attendees. As you know, this is a very large program for our destination. In the past, we've had up to between 65 to 100,000 people coming down over a 2-week event. Wow. We have scaled it down a bit, so don't get nervous. We're expecting about 35 to 40,000 attendees this year, wow. Which has scaled down the footprint a little bit, but we're looking at trying to make sure that we are staying safe and making sure that everyone feels comfortable. A couple other things I also wanted to mention, we will be widening our docks and adding additional directional arrows. I asked kind of my senior leadership, what does widening docks mean? Obviously, it's pretty simple. You're going to make it a little bit wider, but with so many people coming into the destination, we wanted to be cautious with the foot traffic. So we are going to limit the amount of boats that'll be coming in this year. As you all know, we are known as the Venice of the Americas for Fort Lauderdale. So those boats, you might not see all of them, but you will definitely see a lot. And those docks will definitely give that additional space for those folks who are in that market to feel comfortable while doing so. And also, we will be adding hand washing and sanitizing stations throughout and enhancing our deep cleaning, as some folks have mentioned earlier on this call. And we are just going above and beyond to create a roadmap for what we do for the rest of the year. And I'm not going to say that it's not going to be an easy feat. It'll definitely be a more difficult year than past. So we are being very realistic, but I feel very confident in our team as the CVB. We're developing an upcoming CVB. We have a lot of new folks on our team, but we really wear our heart on our sleeve. We're here to really help and just be a bounce board for anyone who has any questions. We have different regional sales executives throughout our program. So we have folks that represent the Midwest, the Northeast, which myself is part of, as well as the Southwest. So we are here for you for any questions that anybody has. And a fun fact, if you don't mind me just saying, we will be opening our highly anticipated expansion project of the Broward County Convention Center. It is over 1 million square feet of space, and we'll be opening that with our 62nd annual International Boat Show next October.
That's awesome. I did not know that.
So fun facts, a lot of fun facts. So
for anyone watching, why Fort Lauderdale? If their event planner never been there, why should they bring their program to your beautiful destination?
Absolutely. Well, we actually have a new incentive. Since some folks might not be able to get down to our destination, we've created virtual site tours. You can find those on sunny.org/virtual site tour. We are letting you know what we have to offer with all of our hotel partners. Every 2 weeks, we do a bi-weekly live virtual site tour where you can ask questions of what the hotels are doing, what guidelines are changing. As you know, we're changing constantly day by day. So the site tours have changed. We've started them in the middle of the summer. And we are continuing through. We already have hotels coming in through March. We have fabulous beaches. We have the Everglades. We have the Hollywood Broadwalk, and so much more that we wouldn't be able to fit in this hour. But we are here for you. And if you feel like you're a little too cold in the Northeast and want to come down, and bring your kids with you. So if they're working from home, you're working from home, and the kids are doing virtual learning, why not do it in nice degree weather? Because Florida is going to have some nice sunny days coming up. So definitely want to come down and head to the beach at 3 o'clock instead of breaking some leaves.
Well, hey, being in Pittsburgh right now, you've sold me. So I think I would love to go down to Fort Lauderdale or where Paul is right now in Swan Dolphin. So, hey, brother, I'm so
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me
problem.
today.
You can join us.
Magnus.
And I know a lot is going on in your neck of the woods, and you have a lot to share. So that's why we saved you for last. And I think the audience are going to want to hear everything that's going on at your beautiful hotel. So, hey, go ahead.
Well, I think we've got a lot going on, and thank you for having me, not only in our hotel, but in the city of Orlando, certainly. It was great with what Ashley was talking about. In Orlando, at the lowest point, 50% of the hotels in Orlando were closed. Today, we're over 90%. Can you believe that? So definitely a strong comeback. And just to be sensitive of people throughout different parts of the country, we know that,
Correct.
It's not the same everywhere. So we are very sensitive, just like the others on the call, in terms of our commitment to clean. I've got my sticker here today. I've got my temperature check, rotates colors every day. So we know that everybody has that safe and secure experience when you come in, including PPE like everybody else. But yeah, a lot of things are going on. The Epcot, right next door to our beautiful hotel, they're running the Food and Wine Festival, obviously with different circumstances as normal. Universal down the street, they're open up, and they have a couple of whorehouses. Not the full scale Halloween Horror Nights as normal, but definitely a cool experience and some great feedback from friends that have been to that as well. I would say just in terms of business, and since this is predominantly a group focused call, when we look at business through the rest of the year, the remainder of the year, we're looking at a lot of leisure demand that's supporting everybody here on this call. It was cool to be on the call this morning. Visit Orlando brought back their sales team pretty much in full force. And so just trust that, Visit Orlando's here. All the other DMCs and the destination places are here to support you. In addition, I know a lot of the global sellers are back on full time, or at least increased time, to be able to help groups find locations and find that perfect fit. So we're excited about that. But we have seen a demand, particularly all over the weekends, for leisure. People want to get away for a few days. They want to have a break, but they love that open air. And Florida is the perfect opportunity to take advantage with this weather here going into October, advantage of the open air experiences, so you can still feel comfortable and still have the great destination experiences. That said, our hotel has seen a really cool uptick. Guess how many sites we have this week?
No way.
4 live in-person sites on top of all of the virtual sites that we're going through. I would say incentive is leading the way, along with medical. A lot of pharma companies are still looking to innovate and still looking to connect. But there are companies that will embrace meeting, obviously in a safe and secure environment. Great thing that Nikitris mentioned about having 400 people for a medical event. We had a medical event for a couple hundred people a couple weeks ago. A lot of small groups are meeting. And I got to give a shout out to my girl, Jen, on the team. She just reeled in an incentive for this December, 400 people. Can you believe that? It's awesome.
Jen? I know Jen's in the comments. Jen, post away.
Oh, I know. Yeah, Jen was there. And I also have to give a shout out to Pinky. I owe you a drink next time you come sing karaoke and kimonos. So anyways, so lots of good things. Mike, as you mentioned, Connect coming up. So, yeah. All of the hotels, especially our hotel, would love to showcase what we're doing during these times to make sure that everybody is comfortable and that everybody is safe. I think a lot of the other forward thinking, let me actually jump into probably our most proud achievement. You've heard about the NBA bubble. Yep. You've heard about the MLS bubble. MLS is back. We're really proud that we were able to host 1,500 people here in July. Well, actually starting in June all the way through August without incident. Can you believe that in this time?
That's impressive.
So, but that is also really a tribute to our commitment to clean and all the standards that we've put in place and the creativity by our operations team. So we certainly couldn't do that without them. But Mike, why don't you roll that short clip from the MLS guys?
Sure, no problem at all. Bear with me for 1 second.
Do you feel that the Swan and Dolphin took every necessary step to ensure wellness and safety of your guests?
I was really impressed by the hotel's protocols coming in. The signage and the branding all over the property, indicating wearing masks, keeping your social distance, the signage at the elevators, just everything had been thought through. This hand sanitizers, there's more than you can imagine throughout the hotel. So you just always felt that was safety was first and foremost here, and that was certainly one of our goals. So it was nice that we aligned in that way. Even at the check-in, the first, your first impression when you arrive, the plexiglass there. I just thought that the hotel really had thought through in similar ways to that we had any opportunity to make it a more safe environment given the circumstances.
Did the additional steps that the Swan and Dolphin take with the food and beverage presentation and service increase your comfort level?
The additional steps that the banquet staff took here to make sure that we were safe in terms of eating on site, I think probably set the gold standard for the industry and will be used as an example. They did really nice plexiglass that not only made you feel safe, it actually looked like it was a part of their existing setup, which was really nice. All the servers were obviously in full PPE, mask and gloves, and everything just worked seamlessly from, getting your box to everything being individually wrapped in terms of utensils. And then again, the servers serving you. So I think they call it buffeteria style. I think it worked really well. And like I said, I always felt safe in terms of getting my food here on site.
So thanks for doing that, Mike. I think we ran into another video, but anyways, the real messaging is where there's a will, there's a way, and you can figure out and partner with the hotel to do events of any set scale, whether it's a 10-person event or a few hundred people or even 1,000 with significant modifications currently. But where there's a will, there's a way. And I can speak for my hotel, but I imagine for all the other hotels in Florida, we're all committed to giving you a great delivery and great response. I would say one other thing that, this challenge has given us is an opportunity to really take a look at who we are and even make improvements. And I'm really thankful for the ownership that we have at the Swan and Dolphin. Right now, they're doing major modifications in the meeting space in terms of fresh paint, making sure that at different parts of the hotel are going to be completely awesome when all of our groups come back to meet in person. On top of that, we're also building a brand new tower. I'd actually like to share my screen if I could.
I think you'll have the ability.
There we go. And just did that. Can you see that, Mike?
Yep, it should be able to pop in. There you go.
Yeah, so we're building a brand new autograph collection hotel, 349 beautiful rooms, predominantly suites, a third tower to add on top of our 2,270 rooms. Upper scale, a little higher scale than the Swan and Dolphin. Same incredible experience. So that's yesterday. Pretty cool. And then here's a different view of it. And then here's our beautiful hotel looking from the 14th floor. It's pretty spectacular, that view, and you can see the Epcot ball right there in the background. But I really think that a lot of organizations and hotels that are forward thinking are really taking that next step to make sure that when they're back to full speed for meetings and we do have these large groups that are meeting again beyond just a couple hundred people, everything is spotless, everything is perfect, obviously from the cleanliness standards to the quality and caliber of the facilities. And it's a really exciting time to see how the uptick is going to come as meetings do come back. But I appreciate that, and thanks for the opportunity to share a couple of cool things that are happening in my neck of the woods.
Well, thank you so much, sir. I can't thank you enough. I mean, that was phenomenal. And 4 site visits in 1 week, that's truly incredible. You're the first person that I've ever heard that from during this whole entire pandemic.
Through the entire team, not just me, myself.
Not just yourself, you're not, they don't have you
I
work.
am in the office today. It's cool to be in the office. We do office a few times a week here and then a few times at home. But yeah, it's good to be back in touch with our colleagues throughout, the different departments and seeing some things in action. That's
awesome. Well, thank you and congratulations on the new tower. I now want to open it up to the entire group and kind of get everyone's thoughts. And all, please just jump in at one time if you like. Why do you feel that right now we're starting to see an increase in RFPs and events taking place, and it seems like it's Q2 and beyond in 2021? Who would like to go first?
Well, I can jump in there. Certainly, each organization has its own goals and objectives, right? Associations sometimes have to meet because they need the revenues to be able to support their operation and continue on. A lot of associations are going through some challenging times right now. Some innovative, some companies have a culture of work from home. One of our customers is a completely work from home company. And so they aren't as anxious to jump right back into this, but they are looking for ways to reward their top salespeople, for example, their top performers. How can we specifically recognize them? And maybe it's an optional route at this point. Hey, do you want to opt into something? And certainly international travel is not not top of mind right now, I guess, with a lot of the restrictions. But hopefully Canada's opening up very shortly, and a couple other countries will open up back very soon. But that said, a lot of companies may want to do something on a smaller scale or on an independent, more of a leisure experience. And so they may find that Florida or Disney or any of these destinations is the right fit this year for them. And they can hit that out of the park in Q1 or Q2. A lot of groups are discussing potential delays or shifting pattern or different scales. But I think it's a partnership, and everything is evaluated together to, I can speak for myself and hopefully the other salespeople here. We want to be solution finders. We want to find the best solution in a mutual partnership during these times. So we're here to help you with that.
I think it's a few different things. I think it's that in addition to, I think I saw a comment where someone said that we're sick of staying home. And to be quite honest, I think that was why our FAM filled up so quickly. I think people are sick of staying home. People also realize that we are now starting to get a handle on this. The one thing that all of us had in common was that we all had safety standards and protocols in place to ensure that our travelers can come to our destination or our hotel safely. And we all have an understanding of what this virus is now, and we all understand what we have to do to keep people safe. So it's that coupled with people no longer wanting to be at home. And I think what Paul said as well. It's all of it together has sort of created this perfect storm of everybody wanting to get out there and people seeing that really 2022, 23 and beyond is that sweet spot to really look to plan their meetings and events.
I also think it has to do with catering, and Nikitris, everything that you kind of went over as far as when it comes to catering events, that was a big iffy situation on how are they going to work out like the receptions, the breakfasts and lunches. So do you have any input when it comes to that?
Yeah, absolutely. And it does play a big part. And I think what so many of our properties have as an advantage, Hilton properties and Orlando properties and Florida properties in general, is outdoor space. And so one of those suggestions too would be for planners to start thinking outside the box of, hey, I know we normally do lunches inside or we normally do dinners inside. Well, in Florida, we have so many properties with beautiful outdoor space. So there's an opportunity to help with that comfort level of using an outdoor function space in a way you maybe weren't using it before, to help with that. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to guide and provide resources and ways that you can meet as safe as possible based on your comfort level. And, we have 12 different outdoor function spaces just at my property alone. And I know our sister properties have similar. So that's something for them to truly consider. And we're always kind of changing with the time. So as new things come out or new phases or new protocols come out, we're on the cutting edge of it. And we're trying to implement it as quickly as possible, train our teams, and get it out there so that the customers have it at their disposal.
And I think also that we are coming back, and I can see it by the individuals that are getting rehired back by their employers. Over the past couple of weeks, I've seen GSOs get brought back. I've seen event sales people get brought back. So this is a trend now that's in an uptick. So I think that's a great sign as well that events are coming back, because our friends are coming back, and this is great just for everybody. So I can't thank you enough just for this input. Nikitris, I'm going to come back to you, and I'm sorry, I'm not picking on you. I think you're just so valuable with everything that you have going on in your catering world. What are the biggest challenges that event planners are coming to you during this pandemic when they're trying to put on an event?
So I think some of the challenges are not as much centered around the actual catering and events part, the actual food and beverage. A lot of it is around their attendee management, and it's managing attendees. A, for associations, can they get the members here? They want to host it. The planners are eager, and they're like, yes, we want to host. But then they're trying to communicate to the attendees, it's safe, we can do it, we have plans in place. So that's one thing that I think we all have to kind of share and make sure we're doing a good job of arming our planners with the information they need to communicate out to their attendees that, hey, you can come, we've got everything in place, we're going to set it up safely for you. And it has to get beyond the planner. It has to get to the actual attendee to have them want to register and sign up to attend the event. So that's one of the challenges. And then, some of the challenges are trying to put together hybrid meetings and wanting to have that balance between some being in person and then some being back at home or in their home offices. And so it's important to have a good partner like a PSAV, who we partner with through Hilton, to be able to put together that hybrid meeting and have the attendees be able to be on site as well as off site based on their comfort level. So again, it's just all about meeting the planner and the attendees where they are with their comfort right now. And like Paul said, it's, having that flexibility to be where people are in the moment.
I totally agree with you. And as far as the other hotels and also the Ashley, maybe when it comes to Visit Orlando, is there any specific concessions or flexibility that you're offering that might bring a event planners group from maybe somewhere else to the Florida area?
Well, as I mentioned before, we don't really have any stipulations on size of meetings where other cities unfortunately do. And so we are open for business, and we're ready to be able to take whatever we possibly can and fit it in and make sure we do a good job with it. And obviously safety, #1 priority. But I know our hotels are eager to get back to business. So I won't say, what hotel, but there's hotels that are giving away, I shouldn't say giving away, but doing 10, 12, even 20% commission. You can talk to me offline about that. But, there are some crazy incentives out there, and you know what it is? It's just everybody's so eager and so hungry to get back to business, to showcase what they can do best, because this is what we do. Hospitality is what we do, and we're just ready to get back to it safely. So I know it's going to be more on an individualized and customized approach when it comes to all of the RFPs. We're going to do what needs to happen for each of our specific meetings, but we are definitely eager. So open for the conversation.
I just wanted to mention here at Hilton, we have a flexible contract that we're working on for all of our groups to do a quick agreement through this transition that we go through. So I think flexibility is key in every aspect of the meetings, the contracting from start to finish. The most important thing is the safety of our guests, and we want to make sure people have peace of mind and they're comfortable. So being flexible as possible, I think, is key.
Yeah, and that's pretty much been mentioned throughout. the past couple of months. And I think if you and your hotel and Hilton, knowing that is just so crucial and important, and puts the event planner at ease with contracting your destination. So
Absolutely.
I think this is all wonderful information. And Sam, I was just going to ask you, I mean, the overall feeling from the site visit with the client, because this event's coming up, was there hesitation? Was there eagerness? I mean, what was the overall feeling with an event planner that was coming in for pre-planning to have an event?
I mean, personally, I think that she felt very comfortable. She felt like from the start that she came to the hotel to the finish, you know, she actually had come from, you know, Mexico prior to coming to Orlando. So she has traveled a bit. So she does feel a little bit more comfortable, and she has immense response for this program. Actually, the program is actually going to happen next month. She has about 300 registrants, and we are thrilled because we would love to host a program that large. And we have the guidelines in place to have a safe, responsible meeting now. And it's just about taking steps into the future, about taking steps in the right direction, and just looking forward to the future of meetings and kind of the new norm. You know what I mean?
No, I 100% understand what you mean. I think really what it comes to now that I've flown on a couple flights, and I actually have 2 more flights in the next 45 days to different states and also a different country, that I think for individuals to kind of step outside of what their normal is currently, and to kind of get the experience of maybe what it's like to, you know, venture into a hotel. Or I'm not encouraging people to jump on airplanes, but if you feel comfortable with going on an airplane, try it out. You know, you'll be surprised with the safety procedures that are in place, and specifically when it comes to hotels and meeting spaces, because we can see it on our side at Meetings Made Easy that the RFPs are continuing to grow, and events are actually taking place with our clients. So we think this is all positive, and we can tell events are coming back, and we definitely think 2021 is going to be a good year. So again, I can't thank all of you, our panelists. You guys are true experts. If anyone watching wants to get in contact with anyone, please reach out to us or reach out to me. I'll get you in contact with them. Again, thank you to our audience for tuning in to MME Weekly. We kept within our time. We usually go over, but this is fantastic. We can't wait to see you next Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We'll announce what MME Weekly will be in the next couple of days. And again, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon. And book your events in Florida. Have a great day.
Thank you.